So I've seen a lot of faggots online debating on which Battlefield game was the best one in the series. Was it Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, or Battlefield 1? Well, in my opinion, Battlefield 4 is the best entry in the Battlefield franchise. Battlefield 4 was released back in 2013 and is more fun to play than most modern shooters. It had a really rough launch, but once DICE, or the developers of the game, fixed most of the problems that Battlefield 4 had, the game turned out to be really good. I have been searching my whole gaming life for a first-person shooter game like Battlefield 4. There is no other multiplayer game on the market that has me hooked as much as Battlefield 4 does. When I was younger, I played a lot of CSGO. Back when I was 12, I put over 1,000 hours plus into that game. But during the beginning of 2017, I ended up quitting CSGO for a long time. And I played CSGO from 2015 to 2016, which many people regard that as being the golden age of CSGO. I just got burned out on all the changes Valve was making to the game, particularly in terms of the sounds, the maps, and the guns. So I just decided to play other games, such as Battlefield 1 or single player games that I didn't have the chance to play when I was younger. I still remember during 2016, my friend Bradley, whom I would play Battlefield 1 almost regularly on PS4, because basically everyone in my class back in the day, no one really played Battlefield. It was mostly just me and my friend Bradley and my cousin. Everyone else was just playing Call of Duty or Titanfall or any other game, any other first-person shooter, but not a lot of people were into Battlefield. He told me to get Battlefield 4 on PS4 so we could play it together. But I told him, what's the point of buying Battlefield 4 when I got Battlefield 1? So he explained to me that Battlefield 4 had more maps and DLC than Battlefield 1, and I would also enjoy it more since it was a modern military shooter. But I told him maybe next time. Till this day, that's my biggest regret in gaming, was just not playing Battlefield 4 during its prime back in 2016, because even though the game had been out for damn near 3 years by then, there were still a lot of people playing Battlefield 4 because of the controversy of Battlefield 1. Not a lot of people liked that game, so they just ended up staying with Battlefield 4. So fast forward to October of 2024, I decided to pick up Battlefield 4 on Steam since it was only on sale for only $2, which was such a fucking steal because you got Battlefield 4 with all the DLC included. So you basically got many hours worth of content for only $2, bro. $2. Once I started playing Battlefield 4 for the first time, I was fucking hooked. I had given up on first-person shooters since 2017, except for Battlefield 1. So playing Battlefield 4 felt like a breath of fresh air. It amazed me how well the graphics have aged, since Battlefield 4 still came out during the end of the Xbox 360/PS3 era. Battlefield 4 was just chaotic when it came to the gameplay. 1 second, you were getting a lot of kills, and the next second, you got killed by a tank from very far away. The thing that made me fall in love with the Battlefield series was how unpredictable every match was gonna be. Even though you played on the same map, after you played them so many times, every match felt different from one another. I also wanted to mention how much content Battlefield 4 had. Battlefield 4 had over 70 weapons at launch. 70 weapons. That's not even including the DLC, which is just fucking insane. A game from 12 years ago launched with 70 guns. Something that not even modern video games have 70 weapons at launch. I don't think I've ever played a game that had that many weapons when it came out. Now I get it. Yes, some guns had better stats than others, but having the option to just choose between 70 weapons is a good thing to have in any first-person shooter game. I understand that a lot of people didn't really use all the weapons. People would mostly stick to like the metal weapons, like for example, the AEK, the G18, the ACE-23, or the UCAV, you know, the mortars or whatever, as far as equipment goes. I get it, but like I said, just having the option to play with whatever gun you want is amazing. This was also the first Battlefield that let players use DMRs, shotguns, and carbines on all classes, which was such a good feature because it helped you change your playstyle. During the match, if a certain gun was not fitting your playstyle, you could just switch it right away. So for example, if you wanted to play, I don't know, the recon class, and you wanted to be more aggressive, so you didn't want to use a sniper because, the sniper only has one bullet. So if you miss the first shot, you have to use your fucking pistol. So if you switch to a shotgun or a carbine, you can be a more aggressive recon. So all the guns in Battlefield 4, they were balanced except for the AEK, the G18, and the shotguns, which I never understood why DICE just didn't nerf these fucking guns. Not all the shotguns, but there were a couple, like the Dow, that were just so overpowered. It was insane. Even at close range, it didn't matter how good you were, dude. It's a fucking shotgun. Once they land that first shot, it's over. And I never understood why they didn't nerf the UCAV or the mortars, but you know, it's whatever. The next thing I want to talk about is how fun the game actually is. As I mentioned earlier, the game becomes very chaotic when it comes to a large scale maps featuring helicopters, motorcycles, jets, and boats. There are so many cool moments I captured in Battlefield 4 that you're going to see in this video. So basically I compiled a bunch of clips of me playing Battlefield 4 on different maps. So hope you guys enjoy that. Now, one thing that I missed about old games in general is a server browser. I do not understand why so many new games do not have a fucking server browser. I know it's really an old school thing where, you know, you can choose like whatever map and modes you want to play, and that is very important. But sometimes you don't want to play the standard game. You want to play something else. You want to play a different mode. You want to play something that someone else created. So just having that option is so cool. And I also wanted to say that having a server browser, it helps keep the game alive. That's one of the reasons why I played CSGO for so many, not a long time, but I did play it for like 2 years straight, was because of the community servers. If I ever got bored of being competitive all the time, I could join a server where it's more chill, more casual, and you could just have fun. So that's another reason why a server browser is very important in any video game, especially multiplayer, because a lot of multiplayer games, they end up dying out after a couple of years. Battlefield 4 feels like a community. Every time I'm on the server, people are always talking shit to each other, greeting each other. You can meet some really cool people in the Battlefield 4 community. For example, this actually happened yesterday. On January 1st, I decided that I wanted to unlock the dice camo for my soldier, but I ended up joining a server and I was trying to unlock it, and one of the admins from the server, the guy that actually owns the server, he kind of knew what I was doing, so I asked him if I could still unlock the camo, and he said, no, you can't, it's broken. I think you can't unlock that anymore, and it's like really old too. So, but he ended up actually helping me unlock the Dice LA camo, which is something I wanted to do. It's just that the Easter egg was so fucking hard to do. So he told me, if anything, I could help you, bro. Like, I could help you unlock this. And yeah, you could use that instead of the regular Dice camo, because I was gonna unlock the Dice LA camo, which is only for developers. So he actually ended up helping me unlock that, which, like I said, the community is so helpful when it comes to things like that. Literally, me and this guy don't even know each other. He just saw me in the game and he's like, dude, I can help you. I was like, cool. So yeah, Battlefield 4 has a really strong community. And honestly, I think Battlefield 4 has the best community out of all the games, especially compared to like Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 3. A lot of people are really toxic on there. So I don't know, that's just my experience. But every time I hop on a server, I even recognize some of the people that are on the server, people I've teamed up with, people I played against from a long time ago, which it's just really cool to see, because a lot of these people are still keeping the game alive even 12 years later. Now, Battlefield 4 also has a wide variety of maps. Some maps were infantry only, while the bigger maps were more vehicle focused. Maps like Pearl Market, Operation Locker, and Operation Metro were some of my favorite maps in this fucking game, because there are no vehicles and it was only infantry focused. That's something I always like, how the game switches up. You play one game, it's all tanks, helicopters, motorcycles, bikes, quad bikes, or whatever you want to call them, and then the next map could be more infantry. So people who don't like, especially me, because sometimes I do get frustrated when it comes to the vehicles in this game, because holy shit, there are a bunch of people who are just so good, bro, you can't even take them down. So I really like maps like Pearl Market, Operation Locker, and Operation Metro, because there's no fucking vehicles in those maps. But Battlefield 4 also had really big maps like Giants of Karelia, Vanguard 21, and Silk Road. I just hope that with Battlefield 6, we get bigger maps. It seems to be a big issue right now that the game, all the maps, they just feel fucking, they're just so small, dude. They're medium to Operation Locker level. So I hope that in the future, DICE just take some notes from Battlefield 4 and add more bigger maps. After all, it's a Battlefield game. Battlefield 6 is lacking a Battlefield, ironically enough to me. I just don't understand what the problem is. Like, just make bigger maps. Now, Battlefield 4 is one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. Even in 2025, instead of playing all the new games that are being released in 2025, I'd rather play a game from 2013. Now, Battlefield 6 has been out for almost 2 months now, but I just don't have any fun while playing it, which is really sad, because I had a little bit of hope that Battlefield 6 was going to be way better than It was during the beta because I only played the beta. I didn't pre-order. I'm just glad I did not pre-order the game. I tried to get into Battlefield 6, but what pissed me off about the game was just how much people were dick riding the game, man. The beta was shit. All the maps were so small. It almost felt like I was playing Modern Warfare 2019 Ground War. That's really what it felt like. Even the graphics, Battlefield 6 really looks like Modern Warfare 2019. I don't know how to explain it. It just looks literally so similar. You put the two games side by side, they look the fucking same. That's why I'm waiting for Battlefield 6 to go on sale so I can finally try the game out. Or maybe I'll wait a couple of years and then buy it for like $2 or fucking $5, but I'm not paying $70 for a fucking game that I don't enjoy. Now, Battlefield 4, it holds a special place in my heart, bro, especially in my gaming life, because I literally bought a poster for this fucking game. I never thought I would do that, bro. Like, I never thought I would have a game where I would enjoy it so much that I would literally buy a poster of it. It's like right next to me right now, right next to my Breaking Bad poster that I have right here, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. But yeah, man, I love this game. It is the definitive Battlefield experience for any player out there. So if any of you guys out there haven't played Battlefield 4, give it a try. When it goes on sale, like I said before, on Steam, you can get it on sale for like $2. I'm pretty sure on PlayStation, you can get it for like $5 with all the DLC included. But I do recommend getting it on PC because you don't need a NASA computer to run this game. You don't need the best graphics card in the world to run this game. Since it came out a long time ago, me personally, I have a 3060 Ti, which is a graphics card from like 2020. I could run this game at 1080p ultra settings with 250 FPS plus. You could always find a Battlefield 4 server during the peak hours, which is around 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays. During the weekends, you are going to find more players online, especially during the peak hours, which I had mentioned earlier. For new players who are just starting to get into Battlefield 4 that haven't played it before, you're going to struggle a lot since pretty much everyone on the server has everything unlocked, so you are basically gonna be going against a lot of tryhards. But once you learn the mechanics and what class to play on certain maps, you're going to get better as time goes on, which is something I also struggled with when I first played this game. I was going against people who had everything unlocked, they had all the good weapons, so I was struggling to level up and to unlock all the weapons so I can get better at the game. Battlefield 4 reminds me a lot of CSGO. It's a game that's easy to learn, but it's hard to master. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Battlefield 4 is the best game in the franchise? Or do you guys think Battlefield 3, Battlefield 1, or Bad Company 2 is the best one in the franchise? At the end of the day, this is my opinion. I still think Battlefield 4 is the best one. I did play some Battlefield 1 for like maybe 500 hours. That's including on PS4. And I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Battlefield 4. Once I got Battlefield 4, I ended up, like right now, I got like maybe 800 hours in the game. And most likely I'm gonna put way more hours into it since it's so much fun. I played some Battlefield 3 for a bit, but the servers are pretty much dead, so I can't review that game. And for those of you out there that are still playing Battlefield 4 in 2025, thank you. I was actually able to experience this game for the first time last year. So yeah, shout out to you guys in the Battlefield 4 community. Hope you guys enjoyed and peace out.